promise you, not your generation, but you're going to see is unprecedented on this planet. That level of migration is already started. We're in the start of that. The migration from the rural to the urban. So that's why our cities are crumbling. How many of you on the metro in Delhi? Many of you. Metro in Delhi is already choking up. How long we started seeing it only? This came out only 2 years back. It's still getting inaugurated. Certain sectors are getting inaugurated. And they're already at a 4 minutes frequency now. 3.5. In the world standard, you can't bring it down beyond 2.5 or 3 minutes. So what will you do now? There has to be a way to deal with your future city. Can you do it like Shanghai, where they have put the permits to come to a city now?
Yeah.
The rural people cannot move into Shanghai without a permit.
Even in China.
This whole Shanghai, I'm giving example of Shanghai. Exactly for that reason. Can you do that in India? No, we can't. Our political system don't allow us to do that. So what will you do? So to answer your question, any money you invest into infrastructure in an urban area is definitely a safer bet. It's a common sense because there is a huge pressure. And you can see infrastructure includes cars, by the way. Infrastructure includes everything we deal with a shift from the rural to urban in this next decade. Is definitely a space where you can invest. How many of you heard about DMIC? Any of you? Delhi, Mumbai Industrial Corridor. I strongly recommend somebody get them the presentation. Okay. The whole Thai membership is an amazing presentation. There is a gentleman who's the CEO. You can call him for one day.
Yeah, we can call him for a talk.
I promise you, it's worth understanding. You'll be amazed. This is CEO right now for this corporation, which is building a Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor. It is a 1100 kilometer corridor. There are 7 new cities being built in that. 7 new cities, where the whole city has been planned right from the greenfield level. Can you believe in your generation you will see 7 new city names emerging like a full new names between Delhi and Mumbai. So this is all about that shift. It's all about that shift which I'm talking about, and it's bound to happen. Punjab, you are seeing it already in a huge way. You are seeing every day you see bigger and bigger cars. You go to the car. Why it's all linked to that infrastructure where the money is invested. Because there is somebody who is moving away from the farmland, is certain handful thing, and moving into a metro, and trying to create a space. He's trying to get space for his car. The whole urban infrastructure is a huge amount of development. It's going to go manifold. I mean, you give an example of a marriage venue. Today there is no marriage venue. I mean, I was amazed. It happens to be a marriage coming in my family. There's no marriage venue available inside Chandigarh or nearby Chandigarh for right December. And you go and ask the people who is getting married. You see, somebody's coming from Fazilka, somebody's coming from. So even that is all part of the same shift. It's all part of the same shift because people want to make sure that they go to a metro to do because there are other support systems available. So huge amount of infra in that shift, and you're going to be much safer in your investments. Real estate is one part of that. Real estate is a very different. Remember, we all know real estate money. If you look at it, is driven as of today by a lot of I would say non-clean people. Lot of that money. We all know that ratio. We don't talk about it. It's fine to come into it. So my only worry about the real estate, it will get corrected. One day it has to correct. How long we continue eating it up? It will correct itself at a particular point. But with that pressure, if you go to the same way, go by the other definition of shift. If you have a real estate in a non-rural area, closer to urban area, close to that point, definitely you have higher chances that will come into that urban development aspect and will give you much higher valuation, much higher return. That point. So from that point of view, the real estate can give a higher return from that point of view. But if you give an example of somebody, a lot of people say the US is no longer very attractive. A lot of people, I don't know how many of you heard this expression in the last, US is no longer progressive. If you look at it, it's the same line. In US, you're living in town, the urban infrastructure, the rate of improvement is very limited. How much you can improve in an urban city in the US now? So, though it is happening, the country is great, the entrepreneurship is great, the correction mechanism is great, but the rate of improvement of an American urban structure is very slow as compared to when you come to India. When you see, oh my God, roads are open, so suddenly you say India is developing much faster than the US, because there is a the visual comes in very front to us. So many roads are being dug, so many freeways are being built because of that. Because the push is definitely here.
You can build a little louder, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody can.
Have you been personally ever interested in the financial services sector? As you
This is a business.
Yeah.
I also want to ask, certain softwares for financial services, are you trying to develop these?
Maybe the
In our times, in 80s, all the things were done in a different way. Now, everything has changed. The
business model is a middleman model is definitely going to suffer. The technology will always try to eliminate the middleman. There is a commonsensical understanding with all the technology, especially the web playing a very strong role. More and more web gets empowered. The middleman information, the middleman cut will reduce. He can still play value add, but it will reduce. That is the problem of the business model. There is a problem of the business model.
There are also coming up
Yes.
for us.
Right.
We have to.
That's exactly the what I was saying.
We have to change accordingly.
Absolutely.
That's not the problem. But new avenues which are open, we don't know. Information like about new financial services, just the programming. Which one will be better? After we buy one software, after that we come to know it is not up to that.
Maybe I'm crossing my limit to mobile and platforms. To keep these three words in mind, whatever you do in the future in IT, you're likely that your odds of success are much higher. Especially in the pure IT. Cloud, mobile, and platform based. As long as these three things you keep in the platform based BPO or ITES, cloud, you know all about cloud, what a cloud is. So you're really in today's entrepreneurship, all you need is some service idea. You don't need any investment. You can theoretically speaking, you can be in your room and connecting with a cloud thing and start working on day one. All you need is a thin device to deal with in the front. You start working on the day one.
But we have to do all the things as before and additional these expenditures.
So I'm not too sure about the business model, about the idea.
Going to that,
But
definitely on a personal note.
personal right.
Looking at, or have you been interested in the past in the financial services industry?
I did some mortgage, you could say, recalculations using your voice-based processes. Like we're doing everything and anything on that space in IDS. We did not succeed. There could be several reasons, but we did not succeed on that. We realized very soon to make money in that space is much harder. Because somebody was driving and paying you only by the success rate.
Right.
For that, and we realized it was that level of competence to build it profitably and sustainable. I think the message of that is sustainability. Many businesses are lucrative to start with, could get you one contract, but sustainability is the issue. The call center is a very good example of that. Okay. So remember, and scalability. Sustainability, you must build enough elements in your business to sustain. Scalability, you must have, the model should be scalable. So if I have to tell you today one thing which I did not do right, is when you deal with a lot of passion and do a lot of passionate work, only thing which I sacrificed in the company, I did not make it scalable because I did not make it process based. I make it person based, personalized based, relationship based. Alright? But the challenge comes linked to that is scalability. And non-process based work will not be scalable. Right? So when I use the word when he asked the question, what will you do in future? The answer I should have given at that time in a different way. One, you bring in a team, and when I say you work on a company, a new kind, you work on a company which is more process oriented. It's professional team, a process-oriented work, so it's scalable, and a technology-driven thing, so it's much more sustainable. It has much more compelling reason for client to buy rather than me as an individual is the only reason of his doing the business. So that is a shift. That's why I use the word I'm the biggest enemy in the second S curve. So that's where the particular thing gets connected.
There are a lot of financial work in QuickBooks. I mean, they're already